Good morning from to Okoboji. I am Kirk Stoss with Stoss Realty. Today we are outdoors. We are at the Nature Center. And folks, I think this is really cool and really exciting. I am here with Lee, and Lee is gonna tell you all about the birding, specifically in Dickinson County, but everywhere. So Lee, take it away. This is really cool.
Yeah, great, Kurt. And yeah, we've always had good habitat here in Dickinson County. I remember when I first started coming up here birding back in the early 80s, and if I spent a whole day birding, I could cover all the good spots to look for birds in Dickinson County, and now I can't do that anymore. There are too many places to find birds in Dickinson County, and part of that is, the prairie pothole, the marshes and the lakes, and in conjunction with the prairies and the upland habitat, and also the woodlands when the warblers are going through, especially, which is what's happening now in fall. The warblers are moving back to the south, but we're finding some really good warblers, and there is a site for the Iowa Great Lakes Birding Club. It has a website and some amazing photographers out there taking pictures of these birds and identifying them for people who want to go search and see what's being found by people local in the area.
Wonderful. And we'll put a link just below when we're done here to that site.
Yep.
Excuse me, keep going.
And the other thing is the Cornell Lab of Ornithology also has a site that I've been referring people to for a long time. It's allaboutbirds.org. And again, we'll put a link to that. And there's an app we've been talking about on your phone. You can download from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology an app called Merlin, which will help you find and identify, if you're seeing birds and trying to identify them, or especially now the Merlin app has a sound component to it, so you can actually take your phone and hit the little button for sound ID and just hold it up, and it'll tell you which birds it's hearing, and compares the songs of the birds to the sonograms for those birds, and helps identify birds that you might see, which is just a wonderful thing.
Yes.
to help you. I tell people any good birder is paying as much attention with their ears as they are with their eyes, because hearing birds can help you identify them, help you find them. If you're out in the woods looking for birds, and there's an indigo bunting, sitting up in a tree and singing, helps you find him, helps you know first that he's there, and then second helps you find that bird and figure out what it is.
I was also just amazed on the map of Dickinson County. I think Dickinson County has as many sites as any place in the state. I mean, it's just exploded around here, the birding.
Yes, and birding really came to its own during the pandemic. People were looking to get outside, and I did that. I was driving around and looking for birds and stopping and listening for birds. But there really is a lot of people that have taken up birding as a pastime. Some people do it just in their backyard. Some people take a walk in the woods and look for birds. And then there are people like me who get out regularly and chase them.
Perfect.
And report them. But it's an easy thing to do. You can do it at your own level. But there's some resources that will help you if you're out birding and trying to figure it out yourself. The other thing is to get associated with citizen science and doing birding. A lot of people get hooked up with eBird, and it's a wonderful way to put your sightings out there. Again, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and working in conjunction with the National Audubon Society, and putting these bird sightings out there so that people know if they're out looking at birds, that their sightings are being incorporated into this database that really has become very successful from a citizen science perspective. And one of the things that we've done consistently here in Dickinson County, we've had the Spirit Lake Christmas bird count.
Yes.
And we've been gathering that information since 1978 is when we started with the local Audubon chapter, the Christmas bird count for Spirit Lake. And if you'd like to help us, we'd love to have your assistance. And we're going to meet at Lakeside Lab to start assign the quadrants for the Christmas bird count. And people who are looking at their feeders in Dickinson County can also get a hold of us through the interns or through the Nature Center and get us their information from their feeders for the Christmas bird count. We always have people out there in the field looking for birds, but then we have a feeder count that we use as well, and that is something that we're always looking for people to help us with, as long as they live
Yes.
within the circle.
Yes.
And you can figure that out by getting a hold of the Nature Center or Lakeside Lab to help us with the Christmas bird count. And we've got one of the things that happens. We just finished up this morning with the birding on the greens. Brooks Golf Course has been an Audubon sanctioned golf course for many years, and one of the things that they needed to have in order to get that certification is a list of the birds that have been seen on the golf course, in the habitats that they have. And so we've been helping them with that for years. And the Dickinson County Nature Center runs birding on the greens. We just did the last one for the year here in September, but we'll start again next year in May. And then it's the first Monday of the month, and we meet at the Brooks Golf Course at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we climb on golf carts and we drive around and look for birds, and we keep a list, and it's a lot of fun, and people have joined us pretty routinely. This morning we had 38 species of birds.
Wow.
Yeah, while driving around on the golf carts, and we had to be done about 9 o'clock and get back because they had a golf tournament starting today, which is usually something that we can avoid pretty easily. But birding on the greens has been quite popular for a number of years now, and it's that way because it is promoted and handled by the Dickinson County Nature Center, and they're naturalists, and usually me or Ed Keelan show up and help them identify some of the birds that we find by driving around the course on golf carts.
Perfect.
And that's a neat thing to do too.
Wonderful. So folks, if you like to be outdoors and if you like nature, Dickinson County is the place to be, and birding is an absolutely wonderful, I don't know, you call it a hobby, call it an interest. So we'll put the links below, and Lee, thank you so much. I can't tell you how cool this is.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah, I've been birding for a long time, and nothing makes me happier than to help people identify or see some birds. And up here in Dickinson County, it's easy to do that if you watch for, especially the Nature Center or Lakeside Lab, where we're having a bird outing, and you can go with somebody who knows what they're doing. And that's a really good way to get introduced to birding as a hobby or as a pastime. It's actually my vocation for years was banking, but my avocation was birding, and so I told people that I was a banker in order to support my birding habit.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Well, as I said, get your bird feeders full and go out and check out the birds. Have a great day.